Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too, because you are watching content like this. The name of this channel is Holistic Manifesting, because I believe in a whole body, whole mind, and whole being experience when it comes to manifesting these amazing lives that we're choosing. What I'm discussing in this video is the importance of understanding how to not get pulled in by everything that you see. My daughter introduced me to another term. I think I've heard it before, but it's been more prevalent in my brain now with the whole TikTok ban and then it coming back, because I've never had TikTok, but I know they have. And so she always says that she's doom scrolling. And I've heard this in the background, and now I think about it and I'm like, oh, I get it. Doom scrolling, meaning that you're just... And I'm like, you can do that almost anywhere. If I go to the news section on my phone and I just swipe it to the left, there's this, all this Microsoft news coming up. I can just scroll through that forever if I want to. It's not even a social media platform. It's literally just news articles, and they'll just feed them to me back to back to back. Now, if I do something like this, I can look at each one of these little articles and see that they all go into vastly different directions for the most part. One of them is talking about, Victoria Beckham saying women should be happier being, in their husband's shadow or something. This is not true. I'm just making this up. But I mean, like, it was some article in a similar vein or whatever. And then the next article could be like, President blah, 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 signed this into order and it was blocked or whatever. And then the next article can be, TikTok people are, doing these challenges and children were killed in recent times. And if you look at all of these articles and you start taking all this stuff in, you can find yourself being pulled in 100 different directions at any given time. And when I think about the type of mindset that it takes to be able to do something like scroll through YouTube shorts or scroll through TikTok, because I assume it's pretty much kind of the same thing, because I've watched over my daughter's shoulder while I'm doing her hair and it looks pretty much like YouTube shorts. If you can do these things and you find yourself in a space where you're scrolling and going through all this information, the goal would be to not be pulled into every direction, because I look at it like this. At any given time, there's like 1,000 different things that your mind can be focused on. The things that usually get our attention the most are something that's already kind of churning in our brains, something that's already kind of rolling around in our heads. But every now and then we get on these sites and we get introduced to something that's like new information completely. And then we're just like, and then we further go deeper and deeper. The amount of time that you will spend if you go down every one of those little avenues is akin to being on the interstate and going from point A to point B and getting off at every single exit on the interstate, because all of the exits look pretty. So you get off at the exit and you go, oh, wow, there's a McDonald's over here, then there's Exxon, there's Walmart, there's Wendy's, there's all these little stores, right? And then you get back on the interstate. And then you go down the interstate some more. And then you get off. You're like, oh, good. There's an Exxon, a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Starbucks. Pretty much the same stuff everywhere you go. A Walmart. Oh, maybe it's a Target, And then you get back on the interstate. It's the same exact thing. So think about how exhausting that is if you were doing it in real time, like in your real physical body. And think about what it's doing to your brain to do that on a device. It's literally numbing and tiring out your brain. So if there's anything creative that you want to get involved in, anything exciting or fun or interesting that you want to develop or create, when your mind is being spent like that and it's being worn out by constantly scrolling through these places and allowing yourself to be taken into politics and then taken into celebrity talk and then taken into food recipes and all these directions, you've literally tired your brain out the same way you would feel if you were getting off at every exit on the interstate to go to somewhere that normally would take 10 minutes. But now that you've gotten off at every exit and gotten back on and gotten back off and gotten back on, it's taking you an hour. So when we stick it into something that's like real life and tangible, we can start to see the effect of things like doom scrolling has on our mindset. When we go through these feeds and somebody's yelling about politics and all that, there's a way that they can yell about these things and the titles that are put on them that makes you feel like you need to dive into whatever's being talked about and whatever's being said. I've become very excellent at being able to be on videos or looking at an article or reviewing information and looking at comments that are just like off the chain nutty, and then like having no desire to want to comment back or to interact or have any part of it. Like I get into full observation mode. So if you can be in these spaces where we have all of this digital technology, where we're always being bombarded with different articles or different news feeds or even different entertainment feeds, like in social medias, and you can find a way to be a full observer, watch how little time that you spend in those places. If you get into full observation mode and you start scrolling through something like YouTube Shorts, or you start scrolling through something like TikTok or whatever, watch if you're having a bird's eye view and you're telling yourself, I won't be pulled into anything that anybody's talking about at any point in while I'm watching this. Watch how quickly you can get in that space. You can get your little feel for it, and then you can jump back into doing the important things in your life. You can get back to working on something that you're procrastinating on. You can get back to your own personal creativity. You can get back to doing things that you love or spending time with people that you care about. It's the being pulled in aspect that's the issue, because at any given time when we're just walking down the road, there's a ton of things that we can give our attention to. And matter of fact, it's like sensory overload if we give our attention to almost everything. The birds, the trees, the concrete, like little children try to do that. A bird, a lizard, a plane, a house, the paint colors, the stop sign. You will literally find yourself fully exhausted if you try to do that. Being online is the same thing. Put yourself in full observation mode and kind of look at everything from a bird's eye view and watch how quickly you can dip into these little spaces and get a few seconds of entertainment and just go, crazy world, and then go back to your life. Go back to creating and doing things that you love. Anyway, short video, but it's something I just want to talk about. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.